Congratulations on completing Lesson 3. To capture what we've learned, let's look at our model once again. The model provides us with a clear process for evaluating interventions based on their marginal cost-effectiveness. However, we now see that cost-effectiveness is not a simple concept. The model presumes that interventions can be evaluated for their effectiveness and costs. In practice, we saw that it might be challenging to predict or measure the impact of some interventions, especially when dealing with complex social problems. So when presented with a cost-effectiveness analysis, we should explore what evidence the analysis is based on. We saw that a really powerful way to find out if an intervention is effective or not is to conduct an RCT, a randomized controlled trial. By randomly assigning participants into groups, RCTs allow us to establish a counterfactual and increase our confidence that the intervention itself is the reason for the effect we see in the trial. While RCTs are the gold standard, many situations call for simpler experiments that are cheaper and easier to do. In fact, we've seen that running RCTs is highly challenging, and that we should also take into account concepts like opportunity costs or replaceability when evaluating interventions. Indeed, conducting comprehensive professional evaluations has its challenges, and conducting them by yourself can be daunting, and in many circumstances, it might not even be feasible. However, the knowledge you've gained so far should provide you with conceptual tools to appraise initiatives that you're interested in. For example, in the previous lesson, we highlighted assessments carried out by Givol. Armed with the knowledge you've now gained, you're better prepared to interpret these evaluations, though, of course, to actually run and analyze such evaluations professionally, you'll need to learn much more, as you can do through the links we provide. Also, surprisingly, this analytical framework is even applicable in business and academic settings when we're trying to prioritize different plans. Therefore, we can consider a recipe alongside the common flaws we spotted as a guide that is designed to steer you toward more informed and impactful decisions. With all of these tools and knowledge at our disposal, we've turned our attention to a new cause, global development, and presented a real-world dilemma in the case of unconditional cash transfers and mass deworming. The need to account for uncertainty showed us that, in practice, we're forced to make complicated trade-offs that require factoring in both empirical and ethical considerations. In the next lesson, we'll explore the philosophical basis and extent of our moral obligations to others. We'll examine if these obligations also extend to non-human beings, that is, to animals, and if indeed we have an obligation towards animals, what can and should we do to help them? Stay tuned.